Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, Edison International, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Kern High School District, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and Valley Strong Credit Union, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
I'm Cece.
And I'm Sloan. For math homework help, call in Bakersfield 636-4357. Everywhere else, 866-636-6284. Email dothemath@kern.org, and we're online at dothemath.net and on social media.
All right, thank you for doing that, Sloan. Where do you attend school?
I go to St. John's Lutheran School.
And you are in what grade?
8th grade.
You ready to get out of 8th grade? Move on
Yes.
to high school?
I'm a little bit nervous, but also excited.
Nervous? What are you nervous about?
High school is going to be a little bit hard, but yeah.
Well, that's a good thing for you, right?
Yeah.
What is something that you're looking forward to when you get to high school?
Probably the sports teams, because I mean we have sports teams here, but there's not a soccer team, and I play soccer, so I'm excited to go play soccer in high school and for all the extracurricular activities that high school also has.
So do you have anything that you have in mind that you're going to want to do as far as?
I think I want to do theater and probably some art classes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be fun. So how is school going so far for 8th grade? Because, I mean, you've only been there about a month or so.
Yeah, only a month. It's going pretty well. I've gotten really close with my friends because I came to school last year. So it was my first year, but now I'm closer with everyone, and I know the campus and the school much better now. So I think it's way better than last year.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad that everything is going well. So you don't have to say math because you're on Do the Math, but what is your favorite subject in 8th grade?
Probably, this is going to sound really basic, but art, and I really like English a lot.
Good.
My teacher, she's really nice.
So in English class, are you reading literature books?
No.
Or is it more writing?
It's more writing. We don't really do any class books yet. Last year, we're reading this book right now called Your New Playlist, but it's not really like a normal book that you would usually read in class, I think.
Okay. You see with the set there, sister. You did a brand new set this year. Anyway, you're all right. So you're going to help me out with the social media problem of the day?
Yes, I will.
All right, let's take a look at it right now. So it says, which of the following is true? And we've got some kids out there might be looking at this going, I don't understand what the big and little numbers mean. So can you explain those first of all?
So the little numbers to the top right of the bigger numbers, those are called exponents. And so each exponent means you multiply that number by itself. So it says, the first problem on A, it says 7, and then it has a little 2 at the top. That means you're going to multiply 7 times itself. So 7 times 7, which is 49.
So it doesn't mean 7 times 2.
It doesn't mean 7 times 2. A lot of people mess up. So, and then you do not do 7 times 2. And if there's a 3 where that little number is, you don't do 7 times 3. You multiply 7 by itself.
And a lot of students will understand in C, you've got an equal sign. But you don't have that in any of the other ones.
Yeah.
So do you know what those other symbols mean, what they stand for?
Well, there's the greater than, and then D. So it has the greater than symbol, but then it has a line under it. That means it could be less than or equal to.
Right, so we have the less than or equal to, and then less than and less than.
Yeah, less than and less than, and then.
All right, so let's take A. That's where you started with, right? All right, so we said that 7 squared is 49, and the other side is 9. So 49 is less than 9?
No.
So A is out of the question.
Yes.
All right, so which one do you think it is right now?
Looking, probably B, but I didn't really solve any of them.
So you're just going to guess B?
Yes.
That's awesome. All right, so let's take a look at it. So let's see what B is. So it says 9 is less than 49.
Yeah.
So
And
far
that's
that's
true.
a pretty good guess. So is 9 equal to 49?
Also no.
Okay, so C's out of the question.
Yep.
And then 9 and 49, we have a less than or equal to.
Well, it is less than, but it's not equal to, so.
Okay, and it has to be both.
Yeah, it has to be both, so it's B.
So you said it was probably B, now you're saying it is B.
Yeah,
You're certain it's B.
certain.
All right, let's take a look and see if you are certainly correct or not. Ah, B is correct. There you go. Nicely done. All right,
Thank
first
you.
problem out of the way. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. And if you phone in today, we've had a couple of students phone in, and we'll take a look at some of those problems later on. But if you phone in today and we do your math problem live on air, you will be going to the Kern County Fair free, courtesy of our friends at the Kern County Fair and us here at Do the Math. Time now for today's Math in the News. All right, in studio with us today for Math in the News, we've got Cece. How are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm excellent myself. So thanks for coming in. So you are with the
Art
Kern Council, Arts Council of Kern, or is it the Kern Council of Arts, or what?
It's the Arts Council of Kern.
Arts Council of
Yes.
Kern. All right. And for students that are watching and they're going, I've never heard of that before. So what is, or what does the Arts Council do?
So the Arts Council of Kern is a nonprofit that advocates art for the community of Kern. They do tons of stuff in the community as far as galleries, painting on walls. They provide grants for people who are trying to get art done in the city. And they're just basically kind of like a hub of advocacy for artists.
Okay, and you need to be a member of the council in order to be eligible for these grants and things like that also, correct?
Not necessarily, that helps, but just by getting in contact with them, you can contact them via their website at kernarts.org. They're also here downtown at 1020 18th Street.
Okay.
Go in there, talk to them, and if you're an artist who wants to get any work done here in the city, they'll advocate for you. They'll help you in any way they can.
That's the place to go, because I know that at our school we have these big ball walls, and they were just blue, and I got a hold of the council and said, hey, I need somebody to come out and give me some ideas and see if they could do it. And they were kind enough, they were able to donate their time and paint, and it looked just awesome.
Yeah.
To transform those just plain colored ball walls into something that represented the school.
That's awesome.
So I know that you have got a slideshow that you put together here with murals that you've been working on.
Yeah, myself and other artists here in Kern County.
All right, well, let's start taking a look at some of these.
Sure. Okay, so I put together this slideshow to kind of show the different types of murals that have been happening around town. And what I like to do is break it down to kind of show you guys how math is also implemented in a lot of these murals.
All right.
The first mural that I want to talk about is the Lanao Brahma Park. This one was designed and painted by myself at a park in Lanao Brahma, which is kind of southwest of Bakersfield. The park has yet to be opened, but they should be doing a ribbon cutting around October or so. So the community can come by, hang out in the park, and check out the mural. Another mural that has been done has been on California Avenue and the California 99 freeway by the artist of Wendy Johnson. This one, if you're driving by California, you can see it any time of day. The other one that we've been working on has been on the Garza Circle by Alex G. This one has just been finished.
I was going to say, that's the newest one, right?
This is the latest one.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. And it took around, I want to say like 3 weeks or so with about like 10 different artists, all of them from Bakersfield. So it's really nice to see them get out and do their work and stuff like that. So the newest, the one that hasn't started yet is the one on Q Street and California 204. This one's going to be under the underpass, under some bridges, and it's a pretty massive mural that's going to be happening, and I'm going to be leading this project here. But I want to move forward and show you guys basically how a mural is created. So the first thing you need to do is survey the wall or the place where you're going to be painting, and by doing that, you'll have to figure out what is going to be your area. And the area is basically going to be your canvas. So in order to figure out the area, you're going to have to measure your width and your height. And by doing so, then you get to know what your square footage is.
Okay.
So for example, for this one right here, it was 60 feet wide by 8 foot tall. And the square footage comes out to be 480. And the way I solved that was, there's an equation for solving square footage, which is basically measuring the height and width and multiplying them together. And since we said the painting was 480 square feet, This allows you to figure out how much paint you're going to be needing for that space.
Now, is there a certain paint you need for doing murals outdoors?
Yeah.
So that it withholds and stands up to the weather and stuff?
That's right. Yeah, there's several types of paint. So the first step you want to do is clean your wall and then add a paint called primer.
Okay.
Primer is a good paint that will lay a foundation. For example, if the wall has different types of color or anything like that, you lay down a white foundation and that's kind of where you want to start. But also what it does is the primer adheses, so it sticks onto the wall a lot better than what paint would do. So it's always a good starter to have the primer in between the finished paint and the wall you're painting on, so it can have the best hold.
Okay.
Yeah. So for example, we're doing 480 square foot. So for this, we're going to need about 1 gallon and about 1 quart. And the 20% could just be anything extra, just in case. And then you have a breakdown of the cost of the gallon and the quart, and that allows you to kind of estimate how much money you'll spend on materials and things of that nature. Moving forward, another interesting thing that I find when you're creating these designs and you're figuring out how much paint you're going to need, and it's not necessarily broken down into squares, you kind of have a lot of different types of shapes going into different types of squares, so you kind of have to guesstimate how much paint you're going to need by counting your squares. So for this one, I would like to show you guys the blue, for example, is what we're focusing on. And if you notice, some of these areas don't really have a full square of blue. However, we mark them just because the majority of the square has blue, and we like to account for how much paint we're going to be needing. So for this one, we had 66 blue squares. And then by doing that, each one of these squares is 1 square foot. So with 66 squares, you have 66 square feet. And that allows you to know how much blue you're going to need for the blue that was on that painting.
Okay.
And for this one, it was about 66 square foot. So for something like that, you probably just need a quart, because a quart is a...
And then you'll have some left over.
And you'll have some left over.
Okay.
Correct, yeah. So other thing that goes into math that I didn't know when I first started was your supplies, how much each one cost, how much paint you're going to need.
Yeah, there's a cost involved with this, right?
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Sometimes as an artist, you just want to go and paint and have fun, but then, you know, the reality is that you also need to do a little bit of math to figure out how much paint you're going to need, how much materials you're going to need. And I wanted to show you guys just a list of the materials that I used for that project. And then I have some quantities here. For example, I had 6 rollers, I had 5 trays, I had 1 gallon bucket, 3 5-gallon buckets. And then to the left, you also see all the paints that I used for this mural. And you see 1 QT, which means 1 quart. Some of these have 2 QTs just because there's a little bit more paint involved. But you also see a breakdown of how much paint was needed for that mural.
Okay.
Yeah. So this was ultimately the final product at the mural. It's in front of a garden. However, you just see dirt. So as production goes and construction, they finish up, it'd be a nice, beautiful garden right there where you can sit and admire the mural and stuff.
All right, we see all the sprinklers in place right
That's
there.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you're coming up with a mural like that, do you come up with the ideas, or do they say, hey, these are what we would like you to do, give us some of what you're thinking of?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I come up with the design on my own. However, we did a survey for the community and the area around there. So the neighborhood that surrounded this park got to vote as to what they would like to see. So a lot of them mentioned birds, pets, nature, flowers, agriculture, things like that. So with this survey, I took all of those elements that were suggested,
Okay.
and I've kind of collaged it all together and designed something, which ended up being this piece right here.
All right. Well, I think the next slide you had was kind of a layout of the area.
Yeah, so moving on to the Q and 204 project, I wanted to show you guys how Caltrans has laid this out. This is the road diagram. So here you see the 204 highway, and then Q Street is this street that kind of cuts right underneath it. So these are 2 big highways right here, and then underneath here is the bridge, and then the murals are going to be going along these walls
Okay.
right under there. Yeah. And then I wanted to show you guys the designs that are going to be going on those walls. So you're going to have like a Bakersfield condor. You're going to have some Joshua trees, desert, some poppies. Then you're going to have a kit fox, some more native poppies. You're going to have the Kern River, some mountains. And then the scheme on this is kind of like night and day. So you got the daytime and then you got the nighttime.
And a lot of things native to Bakersfield and Kern County.
Correct, yeah. For that project, it's a lot bigger than the park one that I showed you guys. The park was probably like 60 feet wide, but this guy is 200 feet wide.
You're not doing quarts anymore, you're doing gallons now, we see.
Exactly, so you see down there, it's 15 gallons, no more quarts. Yeah, so for this area here, which ended up being a square footage of 6,000 by multiplying 230, the height and the width. And then out of the 6,000 square feet, 1 gallon will cover 400 square feet. So by dividing the 400 square feet and the 6,000, you end up knowing how many gallons you're gonna need. So then with that 15 gallons, I go to the paint shop and I tell them I'm gonna need 16 gallons of primer just to make this thing.
And they're loving you on that right there.
Yes, yeah, we're good friends there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, great. You know what? We certainly do appreciate you taking out some time coming to show us what you have worked on and what you will be working on. And as this all gets going. So a real quick question. Yes. How did you first become interested in doing art? I mean, what you're doing now is...
Yeah, so as a kid, I've always found myself drawing in my notebooks. After school, just drawing on the walls of my room, in my garage, and it kind of came naturally for me. And it's something that I kind of fostered and kept up throughout the years. Even though there's a lot of people that said, oh, you can't really do much with it, there's not a lot of jobs in the arts, but it turns out there's a lot you can do with it.
There you go.
There's lots of jobs.
Well, we certainly do appreciate your time.
That.
Thank you for coming down, and keep an eye out for more of those murals that Cece and the Arts Council will have all around Bakersfield and Kern County. We'll be back with more right after this.
Chances are you've used these things to count at some point, but what if we've been doing it wrong the whole time? I'm Devin, and today we're going to talk about different ways to count using your fingers. I used to teach 6th grade, and a big part of 6th grade was learning about ancient Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and the Euphrates in modern-day Iraq. It was known for a lot of fertile ground, developments in agriculture, but also developments in mathematics. Now, in particular, they developed a writing system called cuneiform. And as part of cuneiform, researchers and historians have seen that they have different ways of representing numbers. And one of the things that they noticed was that their system of counting was not structured around tens like us, but 60s. And so for a long time, it took people a while to figure out how that was the case until they looked a little bit closer. Now, when you learn to count, or when you do calculations in your head and you want to have a reference, chances are you're used to going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can get up to 10. Anything above that, you may have to start taking off your shoes to use your toes to count. But in ancient Mesopotamia, and in particular Babylon, they realized you can count to 60 on your hands, as long as you don't just use the fingers, but you use the finger segments. So, instead of going 1, 2, 3, what if we counted the segments using your thumb? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's one set of 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Using this system, you can use that other free hand to count by 12s up to 60. Now, that in and of itself is fairly interesting. However, when we think about the ways that we measure things in the real world today, you notice that 12s and multiples of 12 show up quite a bit. For example, if we have 1 foot, interestingly enough, that gets broken up into 12 inches. Now, why might be the case? an adult finger will measure out with each of those finger segments being about an inch. And so the 12 inches comes from the total that you could count off using the 4 fingers that you have. If you look at a clock, you'll notice that there are 12 hours in a half a day. Now, interestingly enough, Mesopotamia is located near the equator. So the time of day is about 12 hours of daylight, just as there would be 12 hours of nighttime. So because 12 was their reference point, they used 12 to split the day up into even parts, 1 hour. So that's why there's 24 hours in a day. As we go around the sun, the Earth will take approximately 360 days, about 365 if we're being accurate, to take one complete turn around the sun. And if you look at how that divides out, 360 is divisible by 60. So they were able to partition the seasons around groups of 60s. So if you look at how measurements occur throughout our world, 12 keeps coming up. And I don't think you'll ever look at your fingers the same way again.
Well, there's a lot of students that do use their fingers for math, and that's just simply another way to look at your fingers, and one of those different ways from Devin. 636-4357 is the phone number. Right now, we're going to do a little bit of art with Sam.
Welcome to Art on Do the Math, and today what we're going to be working on is an art project based on radial symmetry. So radial symmetry is a term that crosses over between math and art, and you see it in nature. And so within symmetry, we have things that are have one line of symmetry. We also have things that have multiple lines of symmetry. So when you have one line of symmetry, you fold it, and then you have a mirror image that's on both sides. Rotational symmetry, you have a focal point that something is rotating around. So it's rotational usually in geometry, radial symmetry mostly in art. And so a lot of times you'll see things like examples of mandalas are radial symmetry in art. And so the term balance in art is a principle of design. And so that is the term that we focus on symmetry in with art. And so today kids are focusing on the principle of design of balance within using radial symmetry. So the project we're going to be creating is something similar to this. So I created two. So what they're going to have is they have a paper, which you guys are all going to do right now. Grab your square paper. And what you guys are going to do, we're going to have 4 lines of symmetry, right? So I want you to first fold your paper in half, creating your first line of symmetry. And once you do that, you'll open it up, fold it the other direction, creating your second line of symmetry. And then from there, you're going to go diagonal, corner to corner. So you'll do both corners, so eventually you'll end up with 4 lines of symmetry, all connecting to one focal point. Now I had the students already create their design that they're going to be repeating all over because it takes some time. So they have already picked out or drawn their design that they will be repeating and decided which part would be the best focal point that will be rotating around. Good, so you have 1, 2, make sure you end up then from corner to corner, good. So now we end up with 4 lines of symmetry. Okay. Now, once you have your paper, you can move your light board down, and then that point that you decided you wanted on that center, that's where you're going to pick your first triangle, and you're going to line it up. And you'll know that this corner down here will always stay in the middle, right? So your light board should be lit up. You can fit it in your triangle. And once you have that going, You can trace it directly with Sharpie if you feel confident enough, or you can do it with pencil first. Guys got it? Yep. Lay it down there. Nice. Good. All right, you got yours? Yep, and you'll just slide that right under. You can kind of flatten it back out if you need to. All right, so while they're going to be creating their radial design, so they're going to be continually to trace these things, but every time you guys, once you trace one, you have to make sure you flip that over so it creates the mirror image. So every section will be a mirror image of the other section, right? So that will be, you'll have one line of symmetry for this one, but in the end we'll have all four. All right, so as they continue on, they have also already picked their colors, but we'll talk about color theory also when we get back. So we'll let these kids continue tracing on, and when we see you back, we'll see what they have. All right, back to you, Mike.
Thanks for that, Sam. That is an important thing to make sure that they have that mirror image right there. And Sloan, you like doing art a lot, right?
Yeah.
So have you done anything with radial symmetry before?
Not yet, but I have heard of it before.
Okay, well maybe as we go through this, you kind of remember what they're doing and you might be able to make something on your own.
Yeah.
All right, right now you're going to do a little math on your own.
Got it.
But Cece's there to help you out.
Okay.
No,
So-
you're on your own. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So
I got this,
earlier,
I got this.
Cece received a phone call. It was from a 4th grade student, and they wanted to know how many nickels were in 94 cents.
Got it.
So what I need you to do is explain how you would figure that out. So a 4th grader would be able to understand
Okay.
how many nickels are in 94 cents.
How many nickels are 94 cents? Okay, hold on. I'm just going to write the problem down really quick.
Okay.
94 cents, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So basically a nickel, that is equal to 5 cents, okay? So the thing you would do, you would have to divide 5 into 94. So you go like this. So because if you do this, you're going to be able to see how many times 5 goes into 94.
Okay.
So I don't know if anyone knows long division, and if you're in 4th grade, but 5 goes into 9 only one time. And then, so you're going to put 5 down here because 5 times 1 is
Perfect.
5. So then you're going to get 4 down here.
What did you do to get to the 4? As long as we're just
You subtracted, so
Perfect,
9 minus
okay.
5 equals 4. So
Lovely.
then you're going to take this 4 and you're going to bring it all the way down, and it's going to meet this 4 right here. So then you have, how many times does 5 go into 45? So 5 times 9, that's 45. So that doesn't fit because that's too big. So you can do 5 times 8, and that's 40. So that fits. So you're going to put 8 up here because 5 times 8 is 40. So then you're going to go 40 minus 44 minus 40. So then you have 4 left over.
Okay.
So the final answer is 18. So 18 nickels can go into 94 cents.
Okay. So 18 nickels, and then we've got 4.
4 left over, 4
Four.
cents left over, so you can put 4 pennies.
There we go.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
Nicely done. So I've got a quick question for you, Sloan. So we know that 18 is the correct answer, but will 18 answer this question? You can make 94 cents using only 18 nickels.
No.
What else do you need?
You would need 4 pennies because,
all right.
as we said, 5 times 18, yeah.
Good. I just wanted to make sure you were listening to the
Yep.
way it was phrased and things like that. So nicely done. So you feel good? You could teach like a 4th grade little lesson right there?
Yeah, it might be a little hard to understand, but I think I did.
You did a great job.
Well, nicely
Great.
done for your effort thus far today. You've got yourself a meal courtesy of our friends at Chick-fil-A, so congratulations on that. All right, you ready for more work?
Yes.
Take a break, because
Oh,
we're going to
okay.
check out a little something with NASA right now.
Why is Venus called Earth's evil twin? Venus and Earth are sometimes called twins because they're pretty much about the same size. Venus is almost as big as Earth. They also formed in the same inner part of the solar system. Venus is, in fact, our closest neighbor to Earth. So they were formed in the same part of the solar system, made out of the same materials, they're about the same size, so you would think that they would have turned out very, very similar. But what happened is somewhere along the way, they went two very different paths. Some people like to say Venus went bad or something went wrong. I like to say that somewhere along the way, something good happened on Earth. But on Venus, what happened is its large, thick carbon dioxide atmosphere is driving a greenhouse effect. In fact, it's so hot on Venus that you can melt lead. The temperatures on the surface of Venus are over 900 degrees Fahrenheit. And then Venus is covered in a 15-mile thick layer of clouds, and those clouds are made of sulfuric acid. So it is a crazy place, but really interesting. And we really want to understand why Venus and Earth turned out so differently. So NASA and ESA are embarking on a decade of Venus, where together we're sending 3 missions where we're all going to learn more about how Venus formed, how it evolved, and why it's so different from Earth. So why is Venus called Earth's evil twin? Well, they're twins because they're the same size and they formed of the same materials. But Venus is such a hot and crazy place, really not hospitable to life. So that's why sometimes she's called our evil twin.
I learned a little bit about Venus today, learned a little bit about our little mini moon yesterday, and who knows what we'll find out about next week from NASA. There's always something new and exciting going on. 636-4357 is the phone number. In studio, we have Sloan, an 8th grade student from St. John's School, in studio with us today, all ready to teach 4th grade after that first part. But right now, we're going to go back downstairs, check out more radial symmetry with Sam.
All right, hi. So if anyone would like to do this project at home, let me explain some of the materials that you would need. So I just took a regular ditto, or 8.5 by 11 page piece of paper, and you want to make sure that you have a square. So you can just fold your page down, level it out. That way you know all you need to do is cut that off, right? So you want to always work with a square. And so all you need really is paper, some scissors, a pencil, and some markers or crayons, and you guys can create this radial symmetry. So let's take a look at what the kids are doing. So far you can see here that, what's your name? Fernando. Fernando has this amazing flower one that's getting created. So he's already made it through 3 different rotations. And we talked also about color theory. So we looked at our color wheel here. And on the color wheel, we talked about there are things on your color wheel that give you lots of information on deciding what you'd like. So you have complementary colors are directly opposite of your picture, or on the color wheel. And then those colors have more contrast, and they really make your image pop. You could also choose analogous colors, which those are colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. And those kind of give more off of a feeling of harmony, and kind of like some harmonious vibes, right? So the kids pre-chose their colors, and so once they finish doing their rotations, they're going to then get to start coloring. They can use 3 colors plus black and leaving some spaces white, like I did in these 2 here. So let's go on. Let's see what we have going here. And what's your name? Sneha. So she has a very intricate piece going on here. So hers is going to be very fabulous. Look at this, all this design. So she's working on her second one yet. All right, good job. All right, and what's your name? Sione. So Sione's done one with her name, and she is moving along here. And so she has her name in the middle, and it's creating quite the cool geometric shape that is going around here. So yep, you only have 4 more. All right, let's see yours. Ooh, nice. Looks kind of like a spacey vibe. Good. And you have your little shapes in the middle. She's made it halfway, so she'll actually have this piece will be symmetrical exactly to that other one right there. Okay. How are you doing over here? Good. Oh yeah, you've already made it halfway too. Ooh, look at that. These kind of look like some cool faces getting created in here. All right. And so you can see that he chose analogous colors here. All right. And let's see yours. How are you doing? Good. Good. So Clark is doing, is your name, Clark?
Yeah.
All right, so Clark has his name in there. So he's done more, he's gonna flip every other. So he's still gonna end up with a symmetrical radial symmetry, but his will have a little bit different look. And he picked some more contrasting colors. All right, and we have the sisters over here. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good, let's see what you have. Oh, cute. You guys both have little scenes with suns. Oh, that's cool. Yours turned into one full sun because you had a half a sun. Very cool. Doing a great job. And you guys picked what here? You kind of have some complementary colors as well. These are definitely complementary. They really pop off the page. All right, let's see yours. All right, let's see yours. How did you do your name too? And what's your name?
Liam.
Liam, let's see yours. Let's let the camera look. So look at Liam's. He's creating some really cool designs that are getting created in here. So Liam, have you ever worked with symmetry before? Yeah? In math or in art?
Both.
Both? Cool. But you haven't done this project before? All right. You're doing a great job. All right, last table over here. All right. Ooh, nice. You have some circles going on and some lines. What about you? So what do you know? What do you know about symmetry?
That both of the sides are the same.
Right.
If you fold it or cut it.
Right, yep. So the rotational, we have that 1 point. And then she picked a couple analogous and some complementary colors for hers. So what are some things that you guys see in nature that are symmetrical?
Leaves, flowers, what else?
Butterflies, right?
Ladybugs.
Yeah. So some the starfish right here on ours we have as a rotational symmetry. All right, so let's take a look at yours. Let's see. All right. Ooh, that looks very cool. Good job. All right. So as they keep working on here, we're going to continue on with their radial symmetry, making sure that they have that mirror image, or if even like how Clark is doing his a little differently, but his will have exactly the same going all the way around. So with all radial symmetry, you have that one focal point, and they're doing a great job of keeping that there. So as they go along, they're going to make sure they finish all the way around, and then if they decide to Sharpie it, or if they just want to go straight to color, they can. And then they're going to start coloring. So when they go to color, I want them to choose some area or shapes that are going to be just solid black. So that's going to bring some contrast to there. So you're going to have the white and the black. And then they'll be able to use their colors in there, whether they chose analogous colors or complementary colors. So we're going to let them work, and when we see you guys back, hopefully it'll be a little bit further. All right, back to you, Mike.
All right, thanks for that, Sam. And it looks like they're all well into their work right there, because it takes us a while to trace all of those things before they even get to the color. So we have Sloan in studio. She's going to be ready to do some work. But before we get to all of that, let's check out some more about flooding. All right, well, back in studio, we've got Sloan, an 8th grade student, and with Cece, and I need you to hit that rotated square button for me.
I'm always nervous when we open one of
Oh,
these.
this is a beautiful thing right here, rotated square. So
yeah,
let's
okay.
go ahead and take a look at it, all right?
Okay.
So it says, place the numbers 1 through 9 in the boxes of the rotated square so that the numbers in each horizontal row form a number that is a perfect square. So you're going to be able to move those green squares, and each horizontal row needs to be a square number. So you two start talking about what you want to think about doing and start moving some numbers
So literally
around and see
we
what's going on.
so we're literally
Horizontal-
moving.
Horizontal is this way. Right?
It
So
sure is.
the two tops have to be perfect squares by themselves.
Lovely. I love that
So,
stuff.
I think that already gives us 4.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
just
I got that.
yeah.
So 4 has to go at the top, and so does 9, because those are the only perfect squares.
There's one other one, so we want to be real careful.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
We
so
do
why
have
don't
to
you
start somewhere.
there?
Okay,
I'm
okay,
not saying, no. I'm
Okay.
happy with you starting with the 9. Just make sure that we know that if for some reason we get super stuck, that
We
there
know
is
that-
one other one.
okay.
What's the other one?
2. 1.
One
oh my
times
gosh.
one. Yep, exactly. The one that's the easiest is the one you always forget, right? Okay, so we're
Yeah.
starting here. Fantastic.
Okay,
Okay, what's another
so-
perfect square?
So I'm just gonna write down the. Well,
Yeah, you can. It's fine.
okay, wait. So, never mind. So 16 is one. I'm gonna write that down.
Okay.
16, and then 25, 36.
Okay.
Hold on. 49,
Uh-huh.
64. Okay, so
And I love this because this gives us a list of the ones that have 2 digits, so we know we could be here and here and here and here. I like that. That's
So-
great. Okay.
do we add them horizontally, or is it multiplied?
No, so it's actually like it would be like if we did 16, it'd be 1 and 6.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So then I think we have to have a 3-digit, so 144 is a perfect square.
Okay, but are we going to be able to use 144?
Also, not, okay, yeah, okay, I see what, you're helping me a lot. So 13
Boy,
times
I'm so
13 is 169, right?
Okay, okay.
So that's a possibility.
That's a
So-
possibility.
And that's the only one I know off the top of my head. So let's just try that and see what else we could do. Okay, so there's that. Oh,
Exactly.
this is hard.
This
Okay.
is hard. Okay, so what's your next thought? So 169 is what squared?
13.
13, good. Okay, so we know 13 didn't work. We knew 12 didn't work because that was 144 and
We
we
can't
only
do
have
10,
4.
so now we just have
10's
to
not going to work. Okay, so 11 was 121. We can't use that one. So now we're at 14. So what is 14 squared?
I do not know that one out
That's
the top of my head.
I'm going to just follow you with the multiplication.
Oh, okay. 5, 4, 1, 6, 9, 116, 196.
Okay, so we're kind of stuck on that one just like we were stuck with the 169.
Okay, so that one
Sounds
we
not
can't
good.
do either.
Okay.
So should I do 15 times
Sure, 15 is 225.
225, so also no.
Yep, that's not gonna work. Okay, what else?
16 times 16,
Okay, this one I don't know off the top of my head either, so I'll let you go.
36, 39, 256.
Ooh, that holds some promise.
So we could do that one.
I kind of like that one,
So
maybe.
I'm just gonna put that just to see we can always
Okay,
bring it back.
okay.
So then if we did that, it would leave us with these two. So 18 is not a perfect square, 81, 87, 83. So 38, 37, 31.
Oh, okay, so we've got 81, oops. 81 is a perfect square, but then we'd be
Oh.
left with the 37.
Yeah.
So
So,
Cece, what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you guys out so you don't have to
Subtract.
do as much work like
Okay,
that.
fine.
So
Okay.
when you
Oh,
come up with something,
calculator.
use
okay,
the calculator.
yay. Okay, 17
Thanks.
times 17 is 289.
289.
So how do we feel about
We
289?
can't use that because of the 9. So that's a no.
Well, but if we moved the 9, we could,
And we
use,
could
the
use a
1
one.
down there. So do we want to try it?
I mean, we can try, yeah.
Okay, so let's try the
Oh.
1. I know, right?
So
Technology.
what was it again?
289.
289. So that would leave us with 36,
Uh-huh.
75. So
Okay. So now we're left with,
no.
oh shoot.
735. No.
You want a hint?
It's that 7 that's being
I think we got it. I think we got
You
it.
think you got it? All right.
Well,
I was
maybe
going to
we
say, I'll
can.
give you a
Okay.
So we
hint.
need to find something that maybe has a 7 and a 3-digit number.
I like that whole 7 idea. Okay, so we do have another one that is 324. 324 is a square.
What's the number for it? Just
That was what, 17?
So then we
Oh, nope, that's not 17, just kidding.
okay.
Swap out the 9 and the 4.
Thanks, Mr. Kushine.
All right, now get the 3 and the 2 out of there.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
So let's go ahead, maybe we can look here and see what some of our double-digit ones are.
Pairs are. So
Yep. What do we have?
hold up.
I would start with 5 squared,
So,
25.
So we've got the 25.
and I would
And
put that
then-
in there somewhere.
Okay. So go ahead, just slide those in.
I put them right here.
Perfect.
So 25.
Okay, and then let's look and see what other number we've got that would be a perfect square out of these.
37, 38, 36.
Ah,
36.
There you go. Okay, I like that. 36.
So now we would just need to see if this, whatever way you could arrange that.
Okay, so it's not 19. Oops. 18 is 324, so
Has to be
that's
bigger
not
than
it.
that.
Okay,
So maybe try
go
21,
up.
23.
so how about not 21, 22, 23? We need to get
How
some
about I
big
give you a
numbers
clue?
here. Yeah.
If the Yankees win the World Series this year, it
Ooh.
will be their how many World Series wins?
Yeah, because you think we would.
They
do
have
that.
27 already. So
Oh,
if they win
wow,
this
okay.
year-
Oh, well, 28 times 28 is 784. It was actually already in a line.
Right.
Oh.
That's why I was like, oh,
Oh,
you've
my
already got it there.
goodness.
Just,
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it would have taken us a while to figure that out.
Thanks, Mr.
oh, good. I'm glad you had a nice.
Hey, learning
You're
experience.
like, yeah, I got it right
Yay,
there.
Yankees.
There you go.
It's
See,
all-
you
it's-
have now retained employment by simply
It's
saying
all,
yay,
about,
Yankees.
it's all about the Yankees every
Yeah,
time.
Yankees.
Well, only because you were stuck with the 784.
There we
If
go.
you were stuck with the 25, I have to come up with something else. Anyway, great work right there. And you know what? We'll be back with more right after this.
Sonoma State University is an inclusive learning community where students form close connections with faculty, staff, and their peers. The only four-year public college in the North Bay, Sonoma State is blessed with a campus community that embraces and engages with the environment around us. Sonoma State plays a key role in the communities it serves, hosting forums and driving important discussions about the issues that matter. Sonoma State is home to the Wine Business Institute, which provides cutting-edge research that informs industry best practices and offers graduate degrees and certifications in wine management. Surrounded by the foothills of Sonoma County, the Green Music Center is a focal point for the arts and education in the region, where world-renowned artists perform and engage with our students. The university also is an economic force and provides career-ready graduates to businesses, organizations, and government. We're ranked among the top college campuses in California, in the heart of Sonoma County, 50 miles from San Francisco, and an easy drive to the coast and the Redwoods. As an institution committed to educational access, Sonoma State has been a Hispanic serving institution since 2017 and was named a Cal State Equity Champion in 2023. 47% of students will be the first in their families to graduate from a four-year university. SSU also has the number 2 ranking for transfer student graduation rate in the entire 23-campus CSU system. With 45 majors, 42 minors, and 12 graduate programs, we've always got academics on the mind. But we know how to have fun, too. At Sonoma State, smaller class sizes and a family atmosphere mean living, learning, and working are done with a personal approach.
The first thing that pops into my mind thinking about Sonoma State is how personable and small the campus is.
I like the classroom sizes, how they're not too big but not too small. Like, if I have a question, I can just ask, and that they're willing to help me.
When I think about the relationships that I've built with the faculty within the nursing program, I think about how they have provided hands-on learning and quality education.
It warms my heart knowing that the people here at Sonoma State really care for students, and the people that I surround myself with really do go the extra mile to make sure that you have a plan after graduating. The scenery is great, the dorms are great, the parking is great. Everyone here will admire you, everyone here will give you amazing opportunities. Sonoma State as a whole is a great school that if you really want to get involved and you really want people to know who you are at the end of your time here, Sonoma State is the place for you.
That personal approach and sense of teamwork create an educational environment like no other.
So all the faculty here, we work together really well, and everybody is really looking out for the best interests of every student.
I love interacting with students. I love to get students engaged in the course material.
We have state-of-the-art facilities to support a lot of molecular cell biology and other fields. Because there is a smaller student-to-faculty ratio, students have increased accessibility to the state-of-the-art equipment. You know, you are paying for really a private school education, but at a fraction of the cost.
We have administrators that are committed to actually accept students, retain them, and graduate them. Faculty are here to prepare students to actually find their calling and their passion, and to really have students be prepared so they can actually go into their future careers and excel in those careers.
It's been a great place to work. I've been here for 10 years. I've been able to work with students, staff, and faculty across different identities, different backgrounds. We have clubs, we have organizations and experiences that are really run by students. The beautiful thing about Sonoma State is that if you don't see it, you have the ability to create it. And so if you're looking to leave a mark and to truly define an experience, this is the place for you. You can truly be yourself, you're accepted. It's a place that values who you are and what you bring to the table. That's Sonoma State University.
Sonoma State University, where we're proud to say we take education personally.
All right, Sonoma State, a lot of great things going on right there. And one of the things that students were talking about, they were talking about all the things that are great about Sonoma State. One thing that struck me was when they said the parking was great. So you don't usually hear that about a lot of schools, so we'll have to check out Sonoma State sometime, see just how great the parking is. But anyway, another one of the great schools in the CSU system. We do have tutors available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. Right now we are taking a look at the radial symmetry that the students are doing with Sam.
All right, welcome back. Okay, so the kids have been hard at work, tracing away, having to shake out their arm a little bit because it is a lot of work. But let's take a look at some that have finished all the way around and are starting the coloring process. So look at this one. So he had, where's your little triangle go? There it is. So from this picture here, this is what he's created. So he had his center focal point, almost created its own flower in there. So now you're going to start with your colors. Yeah. So that just remember as you go to color, whatever you decide, if you decide that this one's yellow, then that would be yellow the same all the way around, right? All right, that looks amazing. Good job. All right. And she had her very detailed one. So far she's made it in halfway. So I told her, let's work on half because she can always take it home and finish. So then she's probably going to need some smaller Sharpies to get in here, but that looks super cool. So her center, though, you can kind of get an idea. She's going to have kind of like this, kind of like a plus star type of thing created in the middle. That looks really cool. All right, good job. All right, let's see yours. Nice. So she's got hers finished. We saw which one she started with here. And so right now she's working on her Sharpie with creating the black contrast in there first. So finding some areas in there. And I really like how you did that black behind there because it really brought those letters forward. So when she finishes her black, she'll go with her color. Great job. All right, here's one all the way finished around. Let's take a look at that. So yeah, look how cool that's looking. It really, to me, it does remind me of kind of like some space, right? So once she finishes her black, she has her 3 colors that she's going to use. That looks so cool. All right. Next up, let's see what you have. So yep, here is what he began with, and here is what he's coming along with now. A lot of very cool organic shapes and stars, almost like and you're using this because it's almost going to be like a galaxy. I love that. All right. Ooh, look at Clark. Clark's already got some color in there. So let's see yours. So you can see we talked about how Clark chose to flip-flop his, so he had every other, but it still created that focal point in the middle. Mm-hmm. And now he's already had his black going on, and he's going with his colors. That looks really cool. Good job, Clark.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, look how cool these are. All right, let's see. All right, that looks so cool. What a good job. So you created suns on all of yours by chance, full ones, right? All right, so now you're already ready for your color, so you can start here. So you can decide, like, say you wanted these suns to be yellow, so each one would be the same. So whichever one you color here, you'll color with all the way around, right? All right, and look at this one too. Let's see yours. Where was your little triangle? Oh, it's already, don't move it. We won't move it. You can see it under there, but look at the cool patterns that she's created. I love that. All right, Liam. So Liam got his finished all the way around, and he's starting with his contrast. And then, oh yeah, here's your colors here. Yeah, so once Liam finishes, we'll see all of his kind of complementary colors popping. I love it. Good job. All right, and these girls over here have some very detailed ones. All right, she's got hers already finished all the way around, adding her black. Oh, I love how that created kind of like a diamond shape all the way around with your bubbles. That looks amazing. Thank you. Good. All right, and lastly over here, let's see it. I think one of the most detailed ones we got going too. That looks so cool. So yep, she's almost done. And so in her colors here, she has very analogous colors, so it's gonna be a lot of harmony. You have already a lot of black, so I wouldn't suggest a ton of black coming in here, but that looks so good. All right, so as they're working, we've seen so much about symmetry, and they've learned about radial symmetry and how that rotates around that one point, and it just continues to go around. So you could have more than 4, you can have 6 lines of symmetry, however you want to create it. You just however many times you fold that piece of paper and you create that little triangle, that's going to be that little thing that's repeated all the way around. So these kids are going to continue to color and draw and trace, and if you want to find these pictures of the finished products or find how to do this project, just check out our social media and you'll find everything there. All right, back to you, Mike.
All right, thanks for that, Sam. Great lesson right there with rotational symmetry. In studio, we had Sloan today. You did excellent work on that problem right there with the squares. You are now an ambassador for Do the Math. Do you have any idea what that means?
Kind of.
What do you think it means? What do you think you have to do as an ambassador?
Promote Do the Math. I could wear my Do the Math shirt around town.
There you go. Promote Do the Math and wear your Do the Math shirt around town. People are like, what's that? That's pretty snazzy looking at your guy. And you go, like, that's Do the Math. And you tell them all about it, right?
Yes.
Are you a master of the Rubik's Cube?
No.
No?
No.
Well, you know what? You can practice on this one, but this is a limited edition. And there are very few people in the world that have one of these because this is a Do the Math Rubik's Cube.
Oh, okay.
All right. See, so I can tell the excitement is there right there. So that is yours along with a collection of other goodies that we have provided for you this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
And so I know you're a fan of art.
Yeah.
And Sam is, and all the students downstairs. The Bakersfield Museum of Art always has some great new exhibits going on, and their fall exhibit opens up this Thursday. That's tomorrow, and you can visit down there. I do believe that they will be open at 7 o'clock on Thursday evening for you to head down there. So that's the new fall exhibit going on at the Bakersfield Museum of Art. And until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, Edison International, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Kern High School District, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and Valley Strong Credit Union, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.